Good morning, afternoon, or evening. I go by the name of Solo. Welcome back to Solo Driven. Now, picking up where we left off. If y'all remember a couple videos ago, I mentioned it. Yeah, I actually broke this thing. Now, let me explain. So for those that have been keeping up, y'all know that I have plans on doing the suspension with this car. I took the car over to FRG Performance to get the fenders rolled. That way we won't have any issues and we actually drop this thing. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. On the way back from FRG, I was doing some what you call spirited driving, and when I did a pull, I actually couldn't get out of gear. It literally got stuck. It would not come out. I don't know the issue. I'm assuming it's something with the clutch. I have been knowing for quite some time that this clutch is just on its way out. I think the throwout bearing went bad. Pressure plate is just gone. So we're actually gonna be taking this car over to a shop to get this diagnosed and see what the issue is. And if it is the clutch, then that means that we're gonna have to skip the suspension and go ahead and replace that clutch ASAP. That way we can actually enjoy this car the way it was meant to be driven. So with that being said, let's get a cold start. Not bad. Not bad for factory exhaust. We need to fix that. Real quick before we leave, I did some garage cleaning over here. I added this for now. In the future, I'm gonna buy a L-shaped entertainment center in white. We're gonna display the cars like that. The TV will be hung up. That will remain the same. This wall right here will be black. Solo Driven logo. Not sure if I'm gonna go with a LED sign or just paint it on there. And also these floors, they'll be done white too because this looks horrible. Anyways, we're off. Alright, so real quick, as you can see, the clutch is engaged. As soon as I disengage it or kind of just let off the gas, you hear that nasty grinding sound. I think it's a throwout bearing. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely something within the clutch or differential. Kind of like a grinding, and then when I disengage the clutch, it also does it as well. So like I said earlier, when I was punching it, it literally got stuck in gear. And I don't know if that ended up being the cherry on top of the cake. Either way, I don't have the tools or the confidence to work on transmission. So we're gonna go ahead and take it to the shop, see what they find, and take it from there, because I don't want to show you guys what it's doing and actually get stranded again and have to make, well, I guess we can do it for the cloud, but nah, I don't know. We'll see what they say, because yeah, I definitely broke this thing. Alright guys, so we're gonna drop off the car over here at the GM specialist, specializing in, of course, the GM product. So we're gonna drop it off, see what they say, and even though this car is broken, it still looks mighty fine, mighty fine. And just in 2 short quick days, we got our car back. Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up. And don't worry, the car was already in operating temperatures. All right, so moment of truth. We're gonna take it here for a quick drive. I'm not gonna jump on the highway. Everything feels pretty good. I'll go over in a second here what the actual issue was, but so far, so good. So now that we're here at a stoplight, the actual issue ended up being a bearing in the differential. It was the rear bearing that connects to the drive shaft. It completely went out, and I think it was because of that driving that I was doing last time. But natural tear and wear, nothing we can do about that. The car is fixed and it's driving pretty good right now. As you can see, you know, all the gears are going through very smoothly, and also you no longer hear that humming sound when you apply the throttle and let off as well. Pretty good, pretty good. Shout out to the GM specialist of San Antonio. If you need any work on your GM cars, make sure to check them out. They got this car done in 2 days, very timely manner, so big shout out to GM specialist. Now that I can see that everything's doing pretty well in normal driving, time to put it to that real test. You know what that means. We're just kind of go through the gears, nice and smooth. It actually feels like it just engages a lot smoother. Not that the shifting changed or anything, but you can tell definitely that everything is just kind of running a lot smoother in regards to the shifting. You can really tell that those 23-year-old bearings were just completely done for. Okay, beautiful car, man. 5.0 convertible in the building. That is crazy. Maybe he'll give us a little taste. Let me tell you guys, every time I hop in this car, I am just completely impressed by the LS1 motor. Probably one of the greatest naturally aspirated motors till this day that has ever been produced. Relatively cheap, easy to drive, and how can you not love the power? I mean, again, I don't know about y'all, but I'm still impressed by the LS1 motor. Yes, sir. LS1, baby. The catfish. So anyways guys, there you have it. The catfish is back home. Issue has been resolved. Good thing it was something kind of minor. Pretty happy with how smooth the car shifts now. Now next thing we're gonna work on, if you don't remember from last video, having to postpone the suspension because of this was it's just one of those things that I had to sacrifice because that is definitely a priority. But now that we got that out of the way, we can focus on the suspension because driving this car is kind of a nightmare because how bad the suspension is. I find myself fighting with the steering wheel because of just how unbalanced the car is. Also, it does need an alignment, but I'm gonna wait till I do the complete suspension. Probably will be the Bilstein, kit. So I'm very excited about that because this car is in dire need of suspension really bad. Literally, it feels like a boat when I'm driving this thing, and it's just not safe at all. The shocks are clunking. Everything is just completely trashed on the car. So suspension next, and hopefully pretty soon we can get an exhaust on this bad boy because every time I'm driving it, even though I can hear the tone of the car, it's just extremely quiet. So maybe headers and exhaust coming after that. But just to touch base on what's coming in the future for this car, I absolutely love this car, and again, I'm just impressed every time I drive this car. So more to go, and this project is definitely not over. But anyways guys, if you enjoyed today's video, you know exactly what to do. And remember, be motivated, stay drifting. I mean, how can you not love